Hashtag Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck reunion script. What if I told you that Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck just showed up together at a New York City premiere, looked absolutely cozy, sent the entire internet into a complete meltdown, and then had their reps come out and say, "Nope, nothing romantic here, move along"? Yeah, that just happened. And if you think this is just another celebrity sighting, buckle up, because we are about to unpack the most confusing, emotionally complicated, and absolutely fascinating ex-couple situation that Hollywood has given us in years. This is Celebrity Treadmill, and we are diving deep into the Bennifer aftermath that nobody saw coming but everyone is talking about. Spoiler alert, these two are rewriting the rules on post-divorce relationships, and honestly, we do not know whether to be impressed or completely baffled. Before we get into this roller coaster of emotions and anonymous sources, do yourself a solid and hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. Because Celebrity Treadmill is serving you the hottest celebrity tea every single day. And trust me, you're going to want front row seats to this drama. So here's what went down. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck, the couple who gave us not one but two attempts at forever, who got married, divorced, and became the poster children for maybe some things are not meant to be, just showed up together at the New York City premiere of Kiss of the Spider Woman. And when I say together, I mean they were photographed looking friendly, comfortable, and dare I say, a little bit cozy. Naturally, the internet lost its collective mind. Because when you have a history as complicated and public as Bennifer, you cannot just casually show up at the same event without people reading into every single micro-expression and body language cue like they are decoding ancient hieroglyphics. The premiere happened, the photos dropped, and within hours, reconciliation rumors were flying faster than you can say, "Let's give it another shot." Twitter was ablaze. Instagram comment sections were in chaos. Every entertainment outlet was crafting headlines about a possible Bennifer reunion number 3. Because if there's one thing we love more than a celebrity romance, it is a celebrity romance that refuses to die no matter how many times it should. We are talking about a love story that has more comebacks than a 90s pop star trying to stay relevant. And just when we thought we had seen the last chapter, here comes another plot twist. But then, because the universe loves to keep us on our toes, less than a week after premiere, an anonymous source decided to pour cold water all over our reconciliation fantasies. According to this insider who spoke to People magazine, there is no romantic reunion happening. None. Zip. Zero. They are reportedly in a really good place and continue to support each other. They are both proud of what they accomplished together. And that is it. End of story. Pack it up. Nothing to see here. Which honestly feels like the most anticlimactic ending to a story that started with so much promise. It is like watching a movie that builds up to this massive climax and then just ends with, "and they remain friends." Where's the drama? Where's the passion? Where is the messy reconciliation that we were all secretly hoping for? Let's take a step back and talk about why this matters so much. Because Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck are not just any celebrity couple. They are Bennifer. They are the couple who dominated tabloid covers in the early 2000s. They were engaged. They were supposed to get married. They made Geely together, which is arguably one of the worst decisions either of them ever made professionally, but that is beside the point. They were the couple everyone was obsessed with, and then they broke up, went their separate ways, married other people, had kids, built entire lives, and we all thought that chapter was closed forever. But then, in a plot twist that nobody predicted, they got back together over 20 years later. Jennifer had just ended her engagement to Alex Rodriguez. Ben was fresh out of his relationship. And somehow, against all odds, they found their way back to each other. It was romantic. It was nostalgic. It felt like the universe was giving them a second chance at the love story that got away. They got married. Not once, but twice. Once in Vegas. Because apparently spontaneous midnight weddings are still a thing, and then again in a more formal ceremony in Georgia. They blended their families. They bought a house together. They were doing the whole step-parent thing. It looked like they were finally getting there happily ever after. And then it all fell apart. Again, the divorce news broke, and it felt like watching the same movie we had already seen, but with better cinematography. The reports of them growing apart. The speculation about their different lifestyles. The anonymous sources claiming they wanted different things. It was heartbreaking in that way. Celebrity breakups are heartbreaking, where we do not actually know these people. But we are emotionally invested anyway because we have been following their story for decades. So when they showed up together at this premiere, looking friendly and comfortable, it brought up all those complicated feelings. Because here's the thing about Bennifer and Ben. Their relationship has always been incredibly public. They have never been able to just quietly date or break up without the entire world watching and commenting. Every decision they make is analyzed, dissected, and turned into headlines. And now, after everything they've been through, they are apparently in a good place as friends or exes or whatever complicated category they currently occupy. The source that spoke to People magazine made it very clear that there is no romantic reunion happening. They emphasize that Bennifer is doing well and focusing on things that make her happy, specifically her family and her work, which honestly sounds like the standard post-breakup PR statement that every celebrity gives when they want people to know they are fine and thriving and definitely not crying into a pint of ice cream at midnight. Not that there is anything wrong with crying into ice cream, but you know what I mean. The narrative they are pushing is, we are mature adults who can coexist peacefully and support each other even though our marriage did not work out, which is very mature and healthy and probably what every divorced couple should aspire to, but also feels a little bit boring after all the drama. Let us talk about what it means that they are proud of what they accomplished together. Because what exactly did they accomplish? They got married, blended their families for a hot minute, bought some real estate, and then got divorced. That is not exactly a list of monumental achievements. Unless they are talking about their ability to remain civil despite everything, which honestly might be the real accomplishment here. Because divorcing someone you have a long, complicated history with, someone you married twice, someone the entire world has an opinion about, and still being able to show up at the same event and look comfortable, that takes work. That takes emotional maturity. That takes probably a lot of therapy and very good publicists. Bennifer Lopez at 56 is reportedly doing well, which is exactly what she should be doing. The woman is a global superstar. She has sold millions of records, starred in countless movies, built business empires, and proven time and time again that she does not need a man to be successful or happy. But here is what is interesting. Every time she goes through a breakup, there is this narrative that she is focusing on herself and prioritizing her family and work, which is great. That is what everyone should do after a breakup. But it also feels a little bit like we have heard this story before. Because Bennifer has a pattern. She falls hard. She gets engaged or married. She goes all in. And then when it does not work out, she pivots to self-love and independence until the next relationship comes along. It is a cycle, and we keep watching it play out over and over again. Ben Affleck, on the other hand, has his own set of issues and patterns. The man has been through multiple high-profile relationships, struggled with addiction, dealt with intense media scrutiny, and always seems to be either deeply in love or deeply struggling. There is no in-between with Ben. He is all or nothing, which is probably why he and Bennifer connected in the first place. They both have that intense, passionate, all-consuming approach to relationships. But intensity is not always sustainable. Sometimes you need calm. Sometimes you need stability. Sometimes you need someone who does not make you feel like you are constantly on an emotional roller coaster. The fact that they can show up together at a premiere and look friendly is actually kind of impressive when you think about everything they have been through. Most divorced couples can barely be in the same room without tension. But Bennifer and Ben have apparently reached a place where they can support each other publicly without it being weird or uncomfortable. Or maybe it is weird and uncomfortable and they are just really good at hiding it for cameras. We will never really know because we only see the polished, public-facing version of their relationship. The internet's reaction to their reunion has been fascinating because it reveals how invested we are in celebrity relationships. We want them to work out. We want a fairy tale ending. We want to believe that love conquers all, and that two people who are meant to be together will find their way back no matter what. But real life does not work like that. Sometimes people are better as friends. Sometimes a romantic relationship does not work, but the mutual respect and support remain. And sometimes people show up at the same event because it is their job, and they are professionals who can handle being in the same space without drama. What this whole situation really highlights is how complicated modern relationships can be, especially for celebrities. They cannot just quietly move on with their lives. Every interaction is photographed, analyzed, and turned into content. Every anonymous source quote becomes a headline. Every public appearance sparks speculation. It must be exhausting. Imagine trying to navigate a divorce and post-divorce relationship while millions of people watch and judge and create narratives about your life. That is a reality for Bennifer and Ben. They cannot just be two people figuring things out. They have to be Bennifer, the brand, the story, the saga that never ends. Thanks for watching Celebrity Treadmill. If you loved this deep dive into the Bennifer situation, smash that like button. Drop a comment telling me if you think they will ever actually get back together, and I will see you in the next one where we are bringing you more celebrity tea.